So today we're going to talk about the step that you're missing to manifest the life that you want. Hey there, I am Tara, and I am really glad that you're here. And I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I think that there is this hole out there. A lot of people are out there talking about manifesting, and it's super important to know what you want and to have that goal and to see that vision in your life, to be looking forward to something. You know, I talk about it a lot in Healers Academy, which is the life coach certification program that we have here. And it starts with your brain. There's a part of your brain called your reticular activating system. I always touch the back of my head, but it's right there. It's right at the top of your spinal column, right at the very bottom of the base of your brain. And it's about the size of a walnut. And its job is to find information for you. Its job is to find evidence that the things that it's looking for are true. And I've discovered, I kind of have started talking about it like it's a little puppy dog. Like it is, because what it does is every time that you get a piece of evidence, it gives you a hit of dopamine. So every time that you find a piece of evidence of the story that you're looking for, your brain gets just a little hit of, yep, that's true. It's what's happening. And so it wants more of it, just like a little puppy dog. It wants to do it again and again and again. But here's the danger. When you find a piece of evidence and it proves it true, it gives you more evidence that that story is true. And that's the thing. It's actually listening to the stories you tell yourself. So there's too many bits of information in the world for us to really actually know what's going on, or what is true and what is not, or what is important to pay attention to, actually. And so it wants to know what you think is important so that it will know how to look for that evidence. And so it goes out there to find evidence, and the filter that it uses, the way that it filters information, is it listens to the stories that you tell yourself, and then it goes to prove those right for you. And while we think that might be a good idea, the truth of the matter is, if our stories aren't true, then we're finding tons of information, tons of evidence out there that this thing is true, but it might not be true, or it might be true some of the time, but not true all of the time. Or there might be a story that would be more true. And so here's how that plays into manifesting. When I tell myself what I want, I sometimes have this little bit of a, yeah, but you're not there yet. And so that can stop you from looking for evidence of that goal. It can stop you if you say, if you were going to manifest like a lot of money, you're going to say, okay, well, and this is relative, but let's just go with $1 million. Some people think that's a lot of money. Some people think that's not very much. And that all has to do with our lens. But if you want to say, I want to be a millionaire, and I am a millionaire, and you're telling yourself, I am a millionaire, and your body kind of has this little, I don't know if that's ever going to be true. And so we stop ourselves from finding evidence that it's true. So here's the secret that you're missing, the step that you're missing to manifest the life you want. And I want to do it as a little process. So I'm going to teach you how to do this process so that you can do it in your own life. So what I want you to do is get out a piece of paper. I want you to make 3 columns, this side landscape way, and we're going to make 3 different columns on your paper. Excuse me. So step 1 is to get clear on what you want. Okay. So the very first thing you're going to do in the far left column is you're going to make a list of all the things that you want. What is your goal? What is it that you want in your life? What is it that you're trying to manifest? And so, I'm just going to kind of walk you through what it looked like when I did this process a few weeks ago. So on my list, I have things like connection and vulnerability, consistency with posting on my podcast and on my social media platforms. I want to be seen. I want to be strong and confident. These are kind of uh, qualities, right? But you can do it with anything. I've done this before with I want to make X number of sales this week. Okay, so I did this a few weeks ago. I want to make X number of sales for this retreat that's coming up. And so I put that in my goal column. Okay. So make sure that you make it as detailed as you can, because when you have a really clear picture about what you want, it's easier to bring that in. And here's the secret step. The second step on the far right side, so all the far left side is what is your goal. On the far right side, you're going to have another column that is the secret. How will that feel? What will it feel like when you get that goal? So when I said I wanted to have X number of sales, how will that feel? What will it feel like? I will feel accomplished. I'll be so happy to see their faces. I actually even drew little circles in a circle to represent each of the people that I wanted to have there and each of the sales that I wanted to do. Okay. So in this example that I'm using that's in front of me right now, how will it feel when I have peace and connection and vulnerability? It will feel like I am in my sovereign feminine. I actually named this part of me Queen Bee. It's my last name, Bee Brown. So Queen Bee, I will feel like a queen bee. I will have freedom to share my feelings, and I will have golden energy, and I will be attractive to other people. I will be in the flow. Things will be easy. These are the kinds of things that I wrote down in the how will it feel. When I know what that will feel like, it's a lot easier to put those two together, what I want and what it's going to feel like in my body when I get it. So listing all the sensations, all of the ways that I would show up, all of the things that I would do will make it so that I know it makes it so much easier for me to recognize what's coming up, to recognize what I want, to recognize when it comes to me. Okay. So now that I know what I want and how it would feel, the next step is to get really clear. The center section is how am I showing up today? How am I showing up today? And I want to say that this is probably my lesser self. If I'm not accomplishing the things that I want, if I'm not getting the things that I want, if I'm not living the way that I want to be living now, this is why I have this goal, right? So it's a lesser self than the golden energy that I had in the outside column. So in the middle for this example, I have things like manager mode or hiding. That's a good one. You know, if I'm not posting every day, then I'm hiding, right? And I'm quiet, or I'm scrambling for whether it's a sale for an event, or if it's scrambling for attention, or I'm also in busy mode, and I tell myself a lot of stories that aren't true, and I like why I shouldn't post, or how vulnerable that would be and how that would be scary, right? And then I also have a really good pattern of managing other people. So this is something that I learned in childhood. It's something that I learned so that I could keep myself safe, is I look to ways that I can manage. And so I called her Tara the manager. Now, a lot of us do that, especially if we grew up in a chaotic home. We grow up knowing that in order to keep myself safe, I need to read the room. I need to know how it is around. And so I learn how to manage you by managing how I show up. Okay. So if I'm living in this place, if I'm living in this center section, whether it's fear, I want to accomplish something, or any of my roadblocks, it looks like, yeah, but I don't have that yet. And so I live in this lack energy. Whatever that looks like, it actually stops us from living in the as if it's already there column. And so how can I live my daily life as if I'm already there? How can I show up as Queen Bee? How can I show up in this energy that I'm attractive to other people? And it's so interesting because I've been doing this for a few weeks and really contemplating and looking at how I show up, and how I show up when I'm around people, and how I show up when I am posting, and how I show up in all of these different areas. And the interesting thing is I actually experienced this moment just yesterday. I looked around at the people that were sitting around me. I noticed that they were coming to me and asking me questions. I had women at this retreat, and they would come up to me and say, "Hey, can I ask you a question? Hey, can you answer this? Hey, can you help me with this?" And every time I would sit down, there would be people that would gather. I was that word, that attractive to other people, not in a physical kind of a way, but in my energy. It was kind of like I had this mom energy going on, and everyone wanted to sit with me and listen and share. And so as we show up in this way, whether if it's that I want $1 million, how would I show up? I would probably be a pretty good tipper. And so if I start doing that now, if I am generous with my time and my money and my energy now, then I have no hope but to it has no hope but to come to me. There's a line in a book that I love. I love The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and I probably just ruined that and said it wrong, but um, he wrote a book called The Alchemist, and I love it. And I try and read it every year. I found it once when Brene Brown said that that's what she read, and I loved it so much that I try and read it often too. And there's a line in there that says, "When you know the desire of your heart, the whole universe will conspire to help you find it." And I think that is so true. But I love this new step as when I know what my goal is and I know what it's going to feel like, that's how the universe helps me find it, because I live already as if. I have this idea that it is already here. And so I show up in my everyday life, and it's sort of amazing how fast it comes, how fast it works, because I'm already living like that. So the universe has no help in not bringing it to you. Like, it has to bring it to you because you're already living as if. So, if you already had that desire of your heart, how would you show up? And because the other thing is, you would actually know how it already happened. So you can create those routines in your life, because you would, if you were already there, if we go back to that example, if you wanted to be a millionaire, you would know how you got there. And so live the things now, just like this example I used, like the good tipper, right? And the wise investments and the knowing what your money is every day. When I'm in lack, I'm not going to check my bank account to see how much is or isn't in there. I'm not going to I'm going to be avoiding, maybe not opening my bills until the very last second. But a millionaire would just open it up and know what it is and be prepared for that thing. And so, how can I just shift my energy to live as if it's already here? And so, this is the idea that this is, like I said, this is one of the ways that we teach at Healers Academy. We teach the life coach certification. It's a faith-based life coach certification apprenticeship and mastery program. And I would love to invite you to come and get a life coach mastery consultation with me. It's free. It's half an hour just to decide where you are and what you need moving forward, so that you can be the best that you want to be. We teach 25 different modalities during the year-long apprenticeship program. And when you come out, you're ready to, because you've already been seeing clients. It's like this. I want to be an excellent coach. And so I would be seeing clients. And so that's part of it. You're already going to be seeing clients during this, during the program, as a way to live as if it's already happening. And so the other thing that I want to do is invite you to come to the Fifth Dimensional Listening. It's a free event. We do it twice a month. It's on the second and fourth Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. Mountain. And it's really just about practicing the art of listening. We're going to dive in and do breakout rooms. It's actually not recorded, so you get to come live or you miss it until the next time, because I want you to be present and in the room and practicing with another human. Really great ways to be listening. So if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you in the chat. Leave a comment, leave a question, reach out to me. There's ways to do that below in the comments. And I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks for watching.